A 1, 2, 3, 4. A 1, 2, 3, 4. Parasailing where it all began. A little rock with a lot to say. I can't forget about Hollywood, San Diego, and it's all good. PG drill all day long. Keep me running from a desk to dawn. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tell me now what you're waiting for. 1, 2, 3, 4. Humble now, I'm gonna sing it some more. First phase, it broke me down. Second phase, I started to come around. Third phase, I was lean and mean. Graduation, standing tall in my green. To anybody who asks me why, here's to them, or here's my reply. I'll be a Marine till the day I die. Motivated and a simplified. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Tell me now what you're waiting for. 1, 2, 3, 4. Listen up, I'm gonna sing it some more. I turn terror to the Bellow Woods. We're making history so it's understood. Iwo Jima to a Guadalcanal. Kicking butt just to everywhere. Frozen chosen to the Ho Chi Minh. I think it's time that we do it again. Beirut, Lebanon.
National Anthem, and honors to Brigadier General Krall.
Please pray with me. Dear Heavenly Father, we gather here today to celebrate the retirement of Sal Louis LeBlanc. To us gathered here today, we know him as brother, dad, husband, friend, Uncle Sal, and to his parents who have gone on before us, son. To his fellow Marines, he has had many titles, the most recent being Lieutenant Colonel. Father, you know him as your child, and we thank you for the many times you have delivered Sal from evil and protected his life from harm. We pray that you would help him as he transitions to a new chapter in his life, and that he would find true contentment. Lastly, Lord, we pray that you would bless our time here today, and that your Holy Spirit would fill our hearts and our lives until the day that we stand before you. We humbly pray these things in Jesus' name.
Please be seated.
Marine Corps. We will begin shortly. Please silence or mute all your electronic devices for the duration of the ceremony. And we'll give a little extra time for Paul Richards because he doesn't have his flip phone anymore, so it might take him a while to figure out how to do this.
Neller, Commandant of the Marine Corps.
Sal and his family before we started. This is a time to relax. This is a time for celebration. And this is really a time to be thankful in two ways. One, as a Marine Corps, we're thankful for the sacrifices Susan and family has done over the years. It's been a lot. And I'm sure if Sydney and Justin want to talk about the time away and all the things that have been going on, there's a lot of them. So we're thankful as a Marine Corps for all the sacrifices. We're thankful as a nation. And they're thankful to have him as a good husband and a good dad. And everything that you've done. And, you know, your career, in looking over, I got his bio about a few weeks, 2 or 3 weeks back. And I've known you for a while. We just haven't been really close. I've seen you in passing. The Marine Corps is a bit small. But I didn't know you. And then I read about you. And it was quite impressive. And we're going to talk a little bit about that today. But something interesting, flying back late last night from Arizona, I had a couple that sat next to me in the plane, and they were talking about the family business. And they were in the family business. And they were 4 generations of textiles and cloth and selling things. And their kids are looking to get into it. It's just one after the other. And I asked them to define what it means to be part of the family business. It was just a good conversation. Every descriptor that was made, I could make about the Marine Corps. And what became more apparent to me is that we're in a family business. We really are. We're a small group. We've got a difficult job. And that difficulty is compounded due to the fact that we don't do our job sitting in our hometowns. We train for one reason. We're either at war or we're prepping to go. That's what Marines do. And he's got a lot of that in his career. That's what he's done. He's either been preparing for combat or been in it. And so if you go back, he's got 3 months on me in the Marine Corps. 3 months on me. I'm going to have more Marine time than he does soon. Lord willing, we'll see. But about 3 months more. And if you look at his career and what it spanned, I don't know how you do justice to 3 decades. Talk about it, you can read about it, but he's lived it. And he's lived all of it. Enlisting, working his way through the ranks as a radio repairman coming up, having a chance to get on the drill field, which was very apparent when his last march was a general officer out here. So if there's any doubt who's in charge, it's Sal. He knows that. But did very well at the drill field, has an opportunity, goes off to war, does a stint in combat, that's again what he does, and wears a couple ribbons that not many people wear because you've been around a while as part of that. The other piece that's kind of neat is he has an opportunity, he becomes a chief, the maintenance chief, becomes really sharpening his trade, has an opportunity for commission, and follows that, becomes a maintenance officer, and the rest is history. Ends up his career at the top of the pinnacle at headquarters of Marine Corps, basically as the monitor of everyone in that community, providing advice, not just assignments, by the way. We think that's what it's about, sending people in certain directions. That takes about 3 seconds. What doesn't take 3 seconds is every story that he has to hear. Not has to, but takes the time to find out what does it take to grow the next person, the next Sal. How do I take care of family matters that people have? And how do I look at the balance of the Marine Corps to do everything that I need to do? And of course, in this time, he goes back to combat one more time, again, because he's training or fighting. That's what he does. And he does it because he feels it's his duty. So in our checkout, I've been through a lot of these, by the way. I almost went through my own as well. So I go through this checkout procedure. He comes in with a notebook. And he's not interested in taking things. He's already taken enough of this. He's ready to pass some things on to me. I'm asking him, hey, are you doing well? What's going on? Retirement's coming up. I'm really honored to be here. Say a few remarks, meet your family. And he's like, yeah, that's great. Hey, thanks for that. I've got some things I need to share. And he passes on things we can do as a community to make it better. Because he's just thinking that. And he's never done. It's always about the mission. So I find it kind of funny that in the brochure that we have, we'll talk about this as though this is a retirement ceremony. This man is never going to retire from the United States Marine. Right? Now, there may be some official paperwork or exchange up here, and it may affect the monthly pay. Right? But it's not going to affect him as a Marine. All we're doing is turning him around into the civilian community and sending him back out there. It's a scary sight to be, I tell young Marines this, I'm going to tell you this directly. When Superman is on his home planet, he's not that big of a deal. He's just like everybody else. Marines around other Marines don't understand how remarkable they are, because they're around other remarkable people. We're about to pick him up and send him into a community where he then becomes Superman and he realizes it. And he's going to scare the living daylights out of probably everybody because of his work ethic, his drive, his idea of not even understanding days of the week or hours. It's just a mission. And nobody thinks that, but he thinks that. And so we don't lose in that sense. You take that Marineship with you and you push that in that community, and you'll continue to inspire people to serve their country. Every lesson that you've ever learned will be put forth, and you'll only make our country better as a result. There's also something that you can't, when I look at this front row, I see all the family and friends that come up and say good things about you. I'm assuming they don't know you. Right. They come up and they say great things about you, and I look at your family and I get them meeting. They're just beaming today. God's been good. Sure. God's been good to you and your family. And it's a testament to everything that he's worked in your life and everything in this next chapter that he's got prepared for you. And I'm excited. And you've trusted him through that process. You trust him through this next process. So again, I'm incredibly honored to be here and say a few remarks. I can't do 30 years justice. I'll just tell you right now, I've not met anybody like you. I'm proud to serve with you. You go out of the Marine Corps as Lieutenant Colonel of Marines. And my guess is if I asked you 29 and a half years ago if you would be sitting here as Lieutenant Colonel, if you ever thought that was even possible. Sure. And you look at all the challenges that you've gone through and how you put your fingerprints on the Marine Corps, they'll be there for some time. So you've got many friends. We love you. We're not going to miss you because you're not going anywhere. You'll always be with us in several ways. So again, thank you for your honorable service. Thank you for the future service you're about to give us. And I really thank the family for making all that possible. You should be proud of this man. I'm certainly proud of you. Thank you. Semper Fi and God bless you. Sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. The President of the United States takes pleasure in presenting the Legion of Merit to Lieutenant Colonel Sal L. LeBlanc, United States Marine Corps, for service as set forth in the following citation. For exceptionally meritorious conduct in the performance of outstanding service as the Occupational Field Branch Head and 2800 Occupational Field Manager, Strategic Planning Division, Command, Control, Communications, and Computers Department, Headquarters Marine Corps, from July 2014 to March 2017. In a rapidly evolving communications and electronics environment, Lieutenant Colonel LeBlanc spearheaded the realignment and expansion of the communications electronics occupational field to meet all ground electronics maintenance requirements, ensuring that military occupational specialties and structure were positioned to meet the demands of the increased requirements, new technologies, and equipment integral to the command and control of the modern warfighter. He leveraged emerging initiatives sponsored by Installations and Logistics Department, such as the Enterprise Ground Equipment Management, Equipment Sustainment Logistics Data Management, and the Inventory Analysis to improve the readiness of operational forces across the Marine Corps. His leadership was instrumental to the Equipment to Marine initiative, linking operator and maintenance communities to conduct in-depth analysis of programs of record to create a planning tool that informs future manpower and training and equipment fielding plans. His superior performance of duty during this tour is the hallmark of a career devoted to accomplishing broad and diverse assignments in combat and peace, highlighting the culmination of 30 years of honorable and dedicated Marine Corps service. Lieutenant Colonel LeBlanc's dynamic direction, keen judgment, and inspiring devotion to duty reflected great credit upon him and were in keeping with the highest traditions of the Marine Corps and the United States Naval Services. For the President, signed, Robert B. Neller, Commandant of the Marine Corps. Brigadier General Krall will now retire Lieutenant Colonel LeBlanc from active duty. Certificate of Retirement from the Armed Forces of the United States of America. To all who shall see these presents, greetings.
This is to certify that Lieutenant Colonel Sal L. LeBlanc, having served faithfully and honorably, was retired from the United States Marine Corps on the first day of April 2017. Signed, Robert B. Neller, General, United States Marine Corps, Commandant of the Marine Corps. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. A letter from the President of the United States recognizing Lieutenant Colonel LeBlanc for his faithful and dedicated service to his country and Corps for 30 years. Certificate of Appreciation for service in the Armed Forces of the United States of America. Lieutenant Colonel Sal L. LeBlanc, United States Marine Corps. I extend to you my personal thanks and sincere appreciation of a grateful nation for your contribution of honorable service to our country. You have helped to maintain the security of the nation during the critical time in its history, with a devotion of duty and a spirit of sacrifice in keeping with the proud traditions of the military service. Your commitment and dedication have been an inspiration for those who will follow in your footsteps, and for all Americans who join me today in saluting you for a job extremely well done. My best wishes to you for your happiness and success in the future. Sincerely, Donald J. Trump, President of the United States. A letter from the Commandant of the Marine Corps. Dear Lieutenant Colonel LeBlanc, upon the occasion of your retirement, I extend my sincere appreciation for your dedicated service to the Corps. During your career, the Marine Corps has been involved in combat, and it has been because of Marines like you that the Corps has acquitted itself so well on the battlefield. High standards of excellence in the conduct and the performance have long been our hallmark, and with them, a unique spirit that sets us apart. You can be proud to have been part of that legacy and to have attained your grade in an organization such as ours. In recognizing your long and dedicated service to the Corps, we cannot fail to acknowledge the contributions of your family over those many years. Long and frequent separations are a way of life for Marines, and it takes a very special kind of family to share the many hardships with us. We owe them our deepest gratitude. As you leave our active ranks, go with the knowledge that your distinguished service will have a lasting influence, and it has earned you a legion of friends and fellow Marines who wish you well in the coming years. The Corps is better because you have served, and our nation can stand proud because it produces Marines like you. I speak for all Marines in wishing you good health and good fortune. Semper Fi, Marine. Signed, Robert B. Neller, General, United States Marine Corps, Commandant of the Marine Corps. Mrs. LeBlanc, would you please join your husband? United States Marine Corps, Certificate of Appreciation presented to Mrs. Susan K. LeBlanc. On the occasion of the retirement of your husband, Lieutenant Colonel Sal L. LeBlanc, your unfailing support and understanding helped to make possible your husband's decision to make the United States Marine Corps a career. You have earned the Corps' greatest appreciation for your unselfish, faithful, and devoted service. Given under my hand this 18th day of February, 2017, Dennis A. Kroll, Brigadier General, United States Marine Corps, Director, C4, Chief Information Officer of the United States Marine Corps. United States Marine Corps Certificate of Appreciation to Mrs. Susan K. LeBlanc. For sustained selfless and devoted service to your husband, Lieutenant Colonel Sal LeBlanc, during his Marine Corps career, you have been an irreplaceable element of your husband's success, which has helped to make possible his lasting contributions to this great nation and to the United States Marine Corps. Through the long hours in combat deployments, your support has been unconditional and firm. You have given your husband the strength and tenacity to drive on when duty called. Your superior performance has been in keeping with the highest traditions of the United States Naval Service. On behalf of all Marines and sailors, well done. Andrew M. Regan, United States Marine Corps, Commanding Officer, H&S Battalion, Headquarters Marine Corps, Henderson Hall. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to present to you Lieutenant Colonel LeBlanc, United States Marine Corps, retired.
again, I can't thank y'all enough for coming out. I had to write it down so I could stay on track. So the first thing I want to do is give honor, thanks, and praise to God. Because without Him, here we go. Without Him, come on, Sal. There's no telling where I'd be. He's provided me a lot of blessings that I did not deserve. General Crosser, thank you so much for all the kind words and for doing this sermon. Master Guns Leps, Master Guns Chadikas, Master Guns Horn, thank you all for everything you've done to support this for me.
Rob.
I also want to thank the Marine Corps Band, Quantico. What a great job they do. And finally, thanks to the staff of the Marine Corps Museum for supporting this event in this awesome facility. If you haven't found the time yet, you need to take the time to check this place out. It's awesome. Okay, so I really want to thank all of you for coming. It's very humbling that you would take the time. 30 years ago today, in the middle of the night, stepped on those yellow footprints at MCRD San Diego. It's hard to believe that it's over. I was older than your average recruit. Some things were harder, some things were easier. I'd been a machinist for about 10 years, almost right out of high school, and I was looking for a new trade and a way out of Beaumont, Texas. I never would have guessed that this adventure would have lasted this long. I think some of you came here because you're glad to see me go. Some of you came here to see me cry. By the time it's over with, you all get your wish. I've met a lot of solid folks throughout my career. To those of you that are here, I say thanks. And I want to call some of you out. If I missed some of you, I apologize. Some of you didn't RSVP. So, Kerry Bird, you started me on this restricted officer ride. Now, thank you. For your guidance, coming all the way from Idaho. I wrote it down right. You were very stubborn about me applying. Very stubborn. We had a few arguments and you won. You even came to my new duty station and talked to my boss about it, and I thank you for coming all the way from Idaho. Appreciate you, man. Bill Barlow, thanks for helping me get started in this job. You've always been there throughout the years. You were there when I took this job. You answered all my questions, and I'll tell you what, man, your sense of humor is very rare. No pictures, no pictures. Renee, Augusto, Mike McGraw, Steve Denton, you guys keep that C4 machine running over in the CS department. And you help me keep my sanity a lot of times. I thank you for your outstanding advice and being a sounding board. I saw you over here, Steve. Thanks. Master Guns Leps Chadikas, again, you two are gold for the Marine Corps. It's a pleasure getting to know you and working with both of you. I learned a lot from you. And Dale, where you at? You come out and hog hunting anytime you want. Major Larson, Master Guns Jones, and Master Guns Hornick. It's been a heck of a ride. I had your name down here, but I didn't think you were coming. It's been a heck of a ride. It was great getting to know you and I wish you luck. You're going to need it. You keep working those issues. Major Joe Flynn, Lieutenant Colonel Select. You know what you call Lieutenant Colonel Select?
Major.
Hey, where you at, Joe? Hey, man, you're going to do an outstanding job. Master Guns Leps is going to take care of you. I know you're going to keep the 28s on the right track in the right direction, especially if you move to INL. I know you won't need it, but you can call anytime. Like this. Sergeant Major Cruz, you out here? Okay, he know the deal. Master Guns Michelini, Cap Snidey, Major Cunningham, thanks for coming all the way from Camp Lejeune. Jenny, Kim, where you at, Master Guns? He's a Coda. So Coda is child of deaf adult. Both of our parents were deaf. Come over. Master Sergeant, Master Gun Select Dick Over, 2800 Monitor. Thanks for talking to me and sharing information. Some of the prior monitors wouldn't even talk to me because I was an officer. Seriously. And you've always been very helpful, man. You've always taken the time, stop, give me that information I need, feed up, whatever. Master Gun's not around, whatever. Thank you, man. It means a lot. Lieutenant Colonel Biden and Master Guns Jordan, you here? I know Captain Epperson couldn't make it. Master Guns Bowman. Well, I was going to thank 5,900, 2,100 communities and What about Al? Big Al, you here? Couldn't make it. Okay. Danny Morales. I know you're here, brother. You've been a great friend. You helped me out a lot in this job. And you continue to serve the Corps in your current job. Thanks for coming. Appreciate you. Dave Clark. Didn't make it. Patrick Klein. Where you at, brother? You and I were drill instructors together. Thanks for coming, man. No boot camp stories. John Needle, you were my master sergeant when I was staff sergeant at AABs with then Chief Warrant Officer Byrd. And I thank you for your leadership and friendship through the years, man. Appreciate you. Larry Somewhat, we had some good conversations, didn't we? Yes, sir. Master Guns. We always have good conversations with Master Guns. Especially that one in Iraq. So anyway, thanks for coming. Indiana, right? Man, it just blows me away. You guys coming from all over like that. Kid Kelsey, you are a great boss, and I thank you for coming from South Carolina. Appreciate you. To all the wives, all these Marines that I called out, all you ladies, all the wives of Marines, I tell you what, you know who you are. You assisted me while I was a Geo Bachelor. Thank you. Wives in the backbone. Period. Okay. Everywhere you go in the Marine Corps and in life, there's going to be policy, processes, and people. And it's the personalities and opinions of those peoples that will make it successful or unsuccessful. Get an amen?
Amen.
So this was the hardest job I've ever had, and I learned a lot about myself. I learned that I'm not what you would call a people person, and I'm not political. I already knew that. But on a serious note, 2800 Community is a great group of Marines that I'm proud to be, or have been, a part of. And if I had to describe them with 2 words, it would be smart and passionate. It's because of them that I received this award today. I won't miss slugging, I won't miss the train, I won't miss Metro, I won't miss the 95 or the Pentagon, but I will miss the Marines. Almost done. Susan and I made some lifelong friends, and as we traveled around the world, and I really want to call some of them up. Dave and Kate Dyer, we met at 29 Palms Church, 2008. They followed us to Okinawa. We were neighbors, we were in a small group together. Thank you for coming. Lou and Susan Sigmund. I know you're here. There you are. We met back at Camp Lejeune back in 1995. The 2 Susans, worked together. They worked out together, and it just amazes me how they can pick right up where they left off and always get in touch. It's crazy. Cliff and Sophie McGee, Bruce and Sagano, Hadaka Gordon. We met in Okinawa back in 2001. We worked together, our kids hung out together, and we still stay in touch over the years. Thank y'all for coming. Colonel Bolding, sir, Trish, and Lucas are midshipmen of the crowd. Our relationship started Camp Lejeune in 2005 at Camp Lejeune area, then 29 Palms, then Okinawa. When our sons got together, somebody was going to get hurt. Congratulations on Elijah's wedding, and Lucas, thanks again for coming out from the Naval Academy. Dave and Joe Sykes, we were neighbors in Okinawa. He's our Air Force guy. We were neighbors in Okinawa back in 2001. We had some great neighborhood cul-de-sac events. You know, it was awesome, man. And it's great to run into you again and stay in touch. Joe, please talk him into selling me that Jeep. Neil and Ashley Gutschmidt, I'm slaying your name, I'm sorry. We met in 29 Palms back at church, 2008, participated in a small group together. You guys were able to connect with our kids, give them positive direction. very, very thankful to you. Thanks for coming in from Iowa. Juan and Christine Ortiz, we were neighbors back 2004, 2006, just 2 years, but you had quite an impact on us. I remember you, Christine, coming out, helping us lay about 21 pallets of facade, and that's a neighbor. That's a neighbor. And Susan and Christine got real close while Juan and I were deploying. Ryan, you were out there laying that sod too. So I want to thank all of you for your friendships coming today. I really wanted to just vaporize, go to my plot of land in Texas, start that new chapter, but I was told by several people that a retirement ceremony is not for you, it's for your family and for those you work with. Besides, Susan told me, you're having a ceremony. You know that saying, if mama ain't happy, nobody's happy. So right now I want to focus on family, so get ready. So, the definition of family, social unit of 2 or more persons related by blood, marriage or adoption, having a shared commitment to the mutual relationship. Family is important because it provides love, support, and a framework of values to each of its members. Family members teach each other, serve one another, and share life's joys and sorrows. I want to take the time to recognize and thank the family members that came today. One of my favorite verses is Romans 15:32. We will be an encouragement to each other. Nice and simple. Just like all families, we've had our share of issues, and we've been there for each other, and that verse really rings true to me. So, Wilson and Martha LeBlanc, Mom and Dad, I know they're proud of us. Larry and Tina, Sonia, my cousin, you always opened your home to me and my family when I was on leave. Pete and Chris, you treated my parents like your parents. You take care of my sisters. I thank you for that, and I thank y'all for coming out. Brian and Katie, coming from Kansas City. Christopher and Caitlin, Chelsea, Moore, the other Marine in our family, Brandon, Sean, coming from all over Texas, as your uncle. It has been awesome to watch you grow and flourish in your own way. It really has. It really has. I'm very proud of you, and I'm honored that you came to share this event. Justin, sit. All right, as a military child growing up with an old drill instructor. You laugh.
They were.
As your dad, you've been through a lot, both good and bad, and you're both wonderful kids. You've been to some really cool places, seen some cool stuff, and yes, I do count 29 palms. One of those places. We all go through growing pains to become the person we are. I'm very proud of both of you. You both paving your own trails as it should be. Justin, you're in your first year of college and you're doing well. It took you a while to get on track. And Reagan, I give you a lot of credit for it. You really calmed that boy down, and I'm thankful for you. That you're in his life. It's been a pleasure getting to know you. Sydney, you're in your sophomore year of high school and you're doing very, very well. I'm looking forward to hanging out with you, fishing, raising some livestock. Dalton, you come too sometimes. Susan, my best friend, my brother. I'm not going to catch you. For the last year and a half, you've been a GO bachelor and you've been holding down the fort. You've done a great job as a military wife, military mom for the last 22 years. I'm so proud of you. You're so beautiful, I realize that I'm married up. We're both ready for that next chapter, and I look forward to spending it with you. Are you ready to go buy some chickens and cows? Are you ready to see what God has in store for us? So once again, I thank everybody for coming out, sharing this event with me, and I pray that everyone has safe travel as we leave. Thank you very much.
Service to the country. Old Glory. I am the flag of the United States of America. My name is Old Glory. I fly atop of the world's tallest buildings. I stand watch in America's halls of justice. I fly majestically over the great institutes of learning. I stand guard with the greatest military power in the world. look up and see me. I stand for peace, honor, truth, and justice. I stand for freedom. I am confident, I am arrogant, and I am proud. When I am flown with my fellow banners, my head is a little higher, my colors a little truer. I bow to no one. I am recognized all over the world. I am worshipped, and I am saluted. I am respected, and I am revered, and I am loved, and I am feared. I have fought every battle of every war for more than 200 years. Gettysburg, Shiloh, Appomattox, San Juan Hill, the trenches of France, the Argonne Forest, Anzio, Rome, the beaches of Normandy, the deserts in Africa, the cane fields of the Philippines, the rice paddies in the jungles of Guam, Okinawa, Japan, Korea, Vietnam, the desert sands of Kuwait, Iraq, and the mountains of Afghanistan, and a score of places long forgotten by all but those who were with me. I was there. I led my soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines. I followed them. I watched over them. They loved me. I was on a small hill in Iwo Jima. I was dirty, battle, worn and tired, but my Marines and sailors cheered me, and I was proud. I have been soiled, burned, torn, and trampled on the streets of countries I have helped set free. It does not hurt, for I am invincible. I have been soiled, burned, torn, and trampled on in the streets of my country, and when it is by those with whom I have served in battle, it hurts. But I shall overcome, for I am strong. I have slipped the bonds of earth and stand watch over the uncharted new frontiers of space. From my vantage point on the moon, I have been a silent witness to all of America's finest hours, but my finest hour comes when I am torn into strips to be used for bandages for my wounded comrades on the field of battle. When I fly at half-mast to honor my countrymen, and when I lie in trembling arms of a grieving mother at the graveside of her fallen son or daughter, I am proud. My name is Old Glory. Dear God, long may I wait. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's retirement ceremony, and on behalf of the Marines of C4 and the 2800 community, we have a gift for good old Sal, too. Can I borrow your ball? No, you can't? Because it just wouldn't be right if I didn't imitate it. Oh. Now, as you may have heard, Sal is, how do you see out of these things? Sal is a man of many words as long as he writes them down. He is an extremely articulate man. So the words on this plaque speak directly to the... I can't speak directly to the straight of how Sal comes about everything. As he's doing his warm-up and he's going through his slide deck, or he's going through his notes before he gets up and briefed, he'll be looking through his glasses down at the notes, and he'll be very serious, and he's very loud, right? And when I spoke to a bunch of people in the office and they were looking for information on Sal, I said, you got to understand, Sal's parents were deaf. And everybody was like, oh, well, that explains why everybody in the office can hear him. And he's not arguing with you, he's agreeing with you. So, Lieutenant Colonel Sal blah, 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 LeBlanc. For over 32 years of honest and faithful service. Now, I know you're a Dallas Cowboy fan, and I am a Green Bay Packers fan, but we couldn't find a better quote to put on your plaque, and it's from the good old Vince Lombardi. Okay? Because if this does not speak to who Sal LeBlanc is, I don't know what does. To be successful, a man must exert an effective influence upon his brothers. and upon his associates, and the degree in which he accomplishes depends on the personality of the man, the incandescence of which he is capable, the flame of fire that burns inside of him, the magnetism which draws the hearts of other men to him. Vince Lombardi.
Thanks, brother.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your attendance. Please join Mr. LeBlanc and his family at the reception, which will immediately follow at Pancho Villa on Route 610 in Stafford. Thanks for your attendance, safe travels, and Semper Fidelis.
Right down the road.
son, it was over before it was even on. Call a Marine instead of 911. They're built to improvise adapt and overcome. When you're in knee deep and you're up Shit's Creek, you've tried everything, tell you what you do, call a Marine. Call a Marine instead of 911. They're built to improvise, adapt and overcome. If you're in knee deep and you're up Shit's Creek, you've tried everything, tell you what you do, call a Marine. Some douchebag rises up and overthrows his government. Diplomacy ain't working and ammo's all been spent. The world is in a crisis and the media's a curse. I'll tell you what to do when it goes from bad to worse. Call a Marine instead of 911. They're built to improvise, adapt and overcome.